Welcome to Football Scientific. I'm Aaron Sauter, the professor of football. I'm a writer for FootballAnalysisOne.com. I cover the NFL. Also a writer for CFL and I cover the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the Canadian Football League. Also, I write for UFLNewsHub.com. I cover the Orlando Storm of the UFL. Today, I got inspired to go through some college football rankings, my prediction for this college football playoff that'll be announced on Sunday after these championship games this weekend. Got to enunciate. So I'm going to go through my predictions and how I think it's going to break down as the college football playoff goes. We'll compare this next week, probably on Wednesday. It's kind of a quiet football day during the pro football on Wednesday. So we'll talk about the actual breakdown and give our actual prediction. But this is based on what I think is going to happen, not knowing what's going to happen in the conference championship games, obviously. Although I do have my predictions. I do have shorts for tonight's conference championship games. Check them out. See how accurate we are. Should be a great time for everyone. I am joined by my guest host, Tyler the Tiger. Tyler the Tiger here. I guess we're doing some college football today. Sounds like college football playoff. Yeah, we're going to break down college football. We've not touched it much because, it's just too much, man. College football is its own massive thing. We covered the NFL, the CFL, the IFL, and the NAL. And college football is more massive than all that. It's just too much to cover it with pro football too, And I don't want to cover the other, college sports. So I minimize my college football exposure, Yeah, it makes sense. So I'm going to say this. Not that I'm ignoring you and your complaints, but I'm saying this is sponsored by W Energy. W Energy. It gives you some energy. It gets you hyped to play video games all night. You like to do that. You like to play video games all night. It doesn't give you the jitters, and you won't be angry for no reason. No angst, it says on the can. No angst. You gotta drink it, love it, be it. Professor, you look kind of tired and not energetic. Well, that's not very nice to say, Tyler Tiger. What do you mean? I mean, you gotta drink some W. Get after it. Well, what flavors do they have? Doesn't matter what flavors they got. Basically, the only flavor I like is blue ras purple grape. Now, if we get enough subscribers, we get enough people to buy W Energy, we'll get our own flavor. And I'm going to call it Football Scientific Surprise. How's that for a flavor? What's the surprise going to be? Pineapple. I love pineapple. That's the surprise. All right. You should drink some W real quick. Drink the W. Drink the W. I'm drinking the W. Yeah, do it. Okay. Whoa, okay. I don't feel jittery or angry. That's great. And it's very refreshing. That's right, it's refreshing. It tastes good. It's real. You're going to think it's Kool-Aid, kids. But it's W Energy, full of caffeine and other additives that make you feel hype without the jitters. Don't drink it for kids. I shouldn't have said that. My bad. I got a little excited. Either way, break it down. Let's break it down. Okay, we're breaking it down. So first we're going to start off our college football predictions. I'm just looking ahead to Sunday when they select these college football playoff participants, and I'm going to go through what I think the rankings are going to be and then how I think this thing's playing out. So first, number one, I expect Ohio State to beat Indiana tomorrow, so I'm taking Ohio State at number one, okay? Number two, I think Georgia will narrowly beat Alabama for the SEC championship, and I'll have that at number two. I think Texas Tech will once again narrowly pick up a tough win against BYU to win the Big 12. They'll be at number three. And at that point, ACC, man, Virginia's not going to get in, So we're out of major conferences already. So I think Oregon's going to get at number four. Now, why do I think Oregon? Why not Indiana? Well, because Ohio State and Indiana are playing in the Big Ten championship game. Now, it is number one versus number two. And you would think if Indiana made it to the Big Ten championship game and they're number 2, they get beat by Ohio State. It'll probably only drop two places, and they'll get the bye week. But I don't think that they're gonna reward Indiana for losing that conference championship game. I don't think they'll get the bye week. So I think when they beat Ohio State tomorrow, we all kind of know what's going to happen, okay? Then I think Oregon slips in with 11-1 record. They're not playing the Big Ten championship, which should penalize them, but it's not, because it's not going to be another loss on their record. Even though Indiana beat Oregon, I'm not saying it makes any sense, but I'm saying I think college football playoff people are going to put Oregon in there partially just because that gives you a team in every region. If you're trying to maximize your ratings and your income, which I'm not saying college football does that, but this would maximize your ratings. You got a West Coast team with Oregon. You got a Southwest team with Texas Tech. You got a Southeastern team with Georgia. And you got a Midwest team with Ohio State. And a little bit of East Coast. It's right there in that area. Okay? So that means you cover most of the country with these 4 teams as getting buys. That means while this first week might be kind of low on viewers, which I don't think it will be, the weeks after that, you're going to get the whole country watching, and that's what the college football really wants to do. They won't say that, but they think they really want to do that. All right, number 5, Indiana. I got them falling out of 4 to number 5, which is the closest they can get to a bye without getting a bye after losing the Big Ten championship. I got them at number 5, Indiana Hoosiers. Number 6, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm not saying they deserve to be number 6. I'm just looking at the motion in the ocean and how they're treating this thing. And Notre Dame has way too many losses to be in this. But who's going to replace them? Texas A&M, who got whacked by Texas. Texas, who has 3 losses. There's no good answer here. So the best answer I see is put Notre Dame at number 6. Okay? BYU, number 7. They're going to narrowly get beat by Texas Tech. They will be a chance to be a spoiler. They may get after some people. They're going to be at number 7. Number 8 will be Alabama. Okay? They fall way down after losing to Georgia. Down to number 8. I just think it's the only place that makes sense after doing it. They can't all be number 5. You know what I'm saying? Then again, Alabama's going to be number 8. But they're still getting a home game. That's the thing. Number 9, without Lane Kiffin, I got Ole Miss making it at number 9. Okay, I got Ole Miss making it at number 9. The Rebels, without Lane Kiffin. Now, are they going to put them in, even though they lost? I think so, man. They got the 1 loss. It's hard not to put them in. All Texas A&M has 1 loss, and they got their coach. I could see Texas A&M getting in there. I just don't think Texas A&M's going to get in there without Texas getting in there, and I don't think Texas deserves to be in there. Texas A&M really messed up losing last week. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so I got number 9, Ole Miss. I got number 10, Utah Utes, which is pretty crazy. We got 1, 2, 3 teams from the Big 12. That's pretty crazy. Miami, I got them being the ACC team that gets in at number 11, which doesn't make any sense. They didn't even play in a conference championship. I don't know, but they're in. As looking at the numbers, looking at the teams, I don't see a reasonable team to put in over Miami. Okay, number 12 will be North Texas. That'll be our group of 6 representative. They're going to beat Tulane tonight, I'm pretty sure, and they'll be the last man standing to go into the college football playoff. That'll be North Texas Mean Green, which should be interesting just to see the Mean Green in there, All right, so that's number 1 through 12. So then we look at the first round, the on-campus playoff games. I got first, of course, Indiana at North Texas, okay? And I predict Indiana wins that. They win a college football playoff game against North Texas, the worst team in the field, okay? Now, they have explosive offense, but so does Indiana when they play against lesser defenses. So I got Indiana winning that and then going to semifinal or quarterfinals against Ohio State. Okay, I got Notre Dame against Miami, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, there's been a lot of talk about who should get in, Notre Dame or Miami. Notre Dame or Miami. I'm getting them both in. I'm making them face off for a second time. Notre Dame beat them last time, but Miami can beat them. They deserve to go on in the playoffs, man. So I got Notre Dame and Miami playing it out. I got Miami winning. They're going to win it this time. It's hard to beat the same team twice in college football. You're going to have Miami win it. They're going to face Georgia in the quarterfinals. Okay. Next, I got BYU and Utah, a replay of the Holy War. I'm just hoping for that. That's going to be that was a great football game last time they played, and now we can get a college football version of the Holy War. That's on my wish list. That's why I picked them, man. That's going to be an awesome game. If you like physical football, that is going to be an awesome game for a college football playoff spot. I predict Utah beats BYU and they move forward, which Utah is a dangerous postseason team. They've won some bowl games before, man. Some big ones. They beat Alabama. You know, they've done some things. I think they beat BYU. BYU has not, since 1984, done anything in the postseason with national championships. They did win it in 1984. They got lucky. But I think BYU's stage is going to be too big for BYU. And I think Utah's going to knock them off. Utah's used to the big stage. Okay? Okay, so that puts in the quarterfinals. Ohio State versus Indiana for a third time this year. It's going to be that's going to be a rumble, man. We got Georgia and Miami. That's going to be a crazy Southeastern game. There'll be a lot of people at that game, man. It'll probably be in the Peach Bowl. I put them in the Peach Bowl. Georgia and Miami, you sell that thing out, it's going to be crazy. Ohio State and Indiana, I put them in Indianapolis. I don't know what bowl game that is, but it's dropping in Indianapolis, man. Where you had the Big Ten championship game. That'd be good. Unless you want to make them travel somewhere, you go to Rose Bowl with them, which would be weird to have Ohio State and Indiana at the Rose Bowl, but I mean, that would be fun. Okay, next, we got Texas Tech and Utah. Yeah, Big 12 matchup. Big 12 matchup, knocking each other out. Okay, I would put that in the Cotton Bowl. Put that in the Cotton Bowl for sure. Okay, that's going to be a pretty crazy Cotton Bowl. Then I got Oregon and Ole Miss. Oregon and Ole Miss, man, battling it out. Put that in the Rose Bowl, really. That should be the Rose Bowl. I guess maybe that'll be the Fiesta Bowl, though. Oregon and Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. Or that could be a Sugar Bowl. Ooh, with Ole Miss down there. That could be a good Sugar Bowl. It's not really, Oregon has to bye. That'd be kind of a home game for Ole Miss. But I don't know. I could see something like that going down. Okay. All right. In the quarterfinals, I got Indiana upsetting Ohio State. It's hard to beat a team twice. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times. And Indiana will be rolling a little bit, man. They'll be mad for getting beat by Ohio State twice, and they'll knock them off. Knock them off in the bowl, in the neutral site. And I get Indiana winning against Ohio State. Huge upset, okay? And making it to the semifinals, which is crazy with Kurt Signetti. I got Georgia defeating Miami. Miami really doesn't deserve to be in this field, man. It's only getting in because they expanded to 12 teams. Miami will knock off Notre Dame, who doesn't deserve to be in the field. Georgia will knock off Miami, and all will be right again. And that will set up a semifinal between Indiana and Georgia. I'm not even sure how I feel about that. That's going to be crazy. Okay, next, Texas Tech, Utah. I got Utah winning that, knocking off Texas Tech. Why? Because Utah is battle-tested in the postseason. Texas Tech's another upstart in the Big 12. They're just not ready for the big stage, man. I got Utah knocking them off. Huge upset again. And then we got Oregon and Ole Miss. Ole Miss, it comes down to the running game. Okay, running game, Ole Miss, RPOs, they play a stronger schedule than Oregon Ducks. And Oregon Ducks always choke in the postseason, man. They always choke in the postseason. You can't put your money on the Oregon Ducks in the postseason. I got Ole Miss defeating them, okay, without Lane Kiffin as their coach. That's why they get in, man, over other teams, the Texas A&M, who would lose to Oregon. Okay, all right. So then our semifinals, we got Indiana and Georgia. Okay, Indiana and Georgia. I'd put that in the Peach Bowl. That'd be fun. You might have to move somewhere else. You've already used the Peach Bowl, of course. Maybe down in Miami. That'd be pretty fun too. Get down there, the Orange Bowl, and get after it. Okay, Indiana, Georgia. I got Georgia beating Indiana. I just don't see a world in which Indiana beats Ohio State and Georgia back-to-back games. I can't see that. But I got Indiana getting to Georgia, then losing to the Bulldogs. Okay, and then I got Utah and Ole Miss, and I just think Utah They're primed and ready. Ole Miss has never been to the playoff, and boom, they're going to knock them off. It's going to be Georgia and Utah in the championship game, and they play very similar styles of football. Georgia's going to be bigger, faster, stronger, though, and they'll win that game, potentially by a lot. Not as much as when they blew up TCU, I don't think, but hopefully not. At least that was an embarrassing game. All right, so that's my college football playoffs predictions. We'll see how it pans out on Sunday and go from there. These conference championship games may, how that plays out may make some differences. I wanted to do it before that, so you weren't thinking I was cheap. Okay, all right, NFL, just some announcements about players. First, last night, Dallas Cowboys lose to Detroit, probably ending their chance to make the playoffs. Unless something crazy happens. But wide receiver CeeDee Lamb was knocked out with a concussion, so he'll probably be out next week too. Detroit Lions star safety Brian Branch, who had an interception in that game. No, he had a fumble recovery. He had a fumble recovery early in the game. In the fourth quarter, he tore his Achilles. Done for the year. That's a big loss for the Lions. They keep losing people. New York Jets backup quarterback Justin Fields is out on Sunday because of a sore back. That means rookie Brady Cook will be his backup. No. Rookie Brady Cook will be the backup for Tyrod Taylor. Okay, Tyrod Taylor is going to start. Justin Fields is not going to be the backup. He's out. Brady Cook will now be the backup for Tyrod Taylor. We'll see if he gets a chance to play. Okay, Arizona Cardinals. A bunch of changes here to their lineup. Wide receiver Marvin Harris Jr. is out. He's hoping the rest of the Rams got a heel injury. He can't run right. Okay. Quarterback Kyler Murray, they've announced that he will not come back from his injury this year. He is done for the year, and they asked if he'll be back next year, and they did not answer that question, meaning he's not going to be back. He'll be released and probably traded to the team or something. Probably it's Pittsburgh after Aaron Rodgers retires this year. Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles announced that wide receiver Mike Evans and wide receiver Jalen McMillan, while they practiced this week and opened their preparation window for coming back, they're not ready. Now, Colorado Lions said that about Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he came out and had a huge game and helped them win. And they said he wasn't ready too, but, sometimes they lie, man. Sometimes they lie. That's the thing about NFL and their injury reports. Sometimes they say he's questionable, and they know he's going to go out there and dominate. Indianapolis Colts cornerback Sauce Gardner is out against the Jaguars. I still predict they're going to win that game because of their offense. I think the Jaguars are going to turn the ball over too much. That's what they do in big games, turn the ball over. I think that's going to get the Colts back on track and let them take control of the AFC South once again. Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Drake London is out for Sunday. Green Bay Packers placed defensive lineman Devontae Wyatt on IR last week. He got rolled up on a pass rush. So you see that he got injured. So he's on the IR, he's out at least 4 weeks. That might hurt them. He's a pretty good pass rusher to pair with Micah Parsons. Okay, I mentioned the Cardinals had a bunch of people hurt this week. So running back Trey Benson, out. Running back Amari DiMercado, out. Wide receiver Greg Dortch, out. Wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., out. Wide quarterback Kyler Murray, out. Defensive lineman Walter Nolan III, out. Defensive lineman L.J. Collins, out. You got defensive back Mac Melton, out. You got defensive back Dadrian Taylor Dominion or something. He's out. And they're all out for Sunday, man. Arizona's going to host the Rams and be up to with skeleton crew, really. Boom, got it. Buffalo Bills, they claimed another guy off waivers. They claimed Darius Slay, but he was like, no, I'm good. I don't need to go to Buffalo. He's probably going to retire. But they claimed another defensive back off waivers today. They claimed safety Darnell Savage, who earlier this week the Washington Commanders cut. They waived him. And Buffalo picked him up on waivers, so we'll see if he makes an impact for it. Yeah, he let this show up for the Bills. We'll see. Okay. All right, he does not make an impact. All right, CFL. A lot of CFL news today. First, Saskatchewan Roughriders. They extended. I mentioned this yesterday. Extended American quarterback Trevor Harris for 1 more year. Boom. He did. He said in an interview he doesn't want to be the highest paid quarterback in the CFL. He just wants his team to be good. Really. That's admirable. A lot of NFL quarterbacks can learn a lot from that, man. BC Lions, they signed American defensive back Marquise Bridges. Calgary Stampeders signed National Offensive Lineman Bryce Bell. Ottawa Redblacks re-signed national linebacker James Peter. Okay. Saskatchewan Roughriders extended their short yardage quarterback Tommy Stevens through 2027. They're getting these quarterbacks locked up. I mean, but Hamilton should be jumping on things like Saskatchewan is. This is why they have a hard time. Toronto Argonauts, they're still reorganizing things. Jim Barkey is returning to Toronto to fulfill a player personnel role for John Huffnagel, who's probably going to be the de facto general manager. Why do I say that? Well, because John something, or Martin or something, is out as their assistant general manager. He's done, man. So they're replacing him. You can't be not making the playoffs at the place where they won the most Grey Cup. Then you lose a job. Okay, several CFL players got workouts this week. Cleveland Browns are working out several players. Defensive tackle Jalen Hutchins, kick returner Shrey Vival, kick returner Isaiah Wooden Sr., punter Nick Constantine. Why is that? Why is our Cleveland Browns thing in the CFL? Because those are all CFL players getting a look from the Cleveland Browns, and they need some help. Those guys might get picked up here for next year. Ottawa Redblacks signed national linebacker James P. I already mentioned that. All right. One more. Edmonton Elks, they signed national offensive lineman Domenico Piazza, and they signed national wide receiver Colby Herford. Okay, so that is what we're looking at. Football Scientific tonight. I shared my college football playoff predictions with you and the outcomes of that, Georgia winning national championship and stuff. It just seems inevitable. And then I went through, NFL signings, CFL signings, talking about that stuff. So it's important for the future. It's kind of important to keep your nose on this. Yesterday I wrote a power rankings article about the NFL. Check that out. We'll see how it goes, okay? This is it for Football Scientific. I am the football professor, Aaron Sauter, and we are closing this portal for Football Scientific tonight. Oh, no, I'm not done. W Energy. Make sure you order your W Energy on the link we put down in the chat section or whatever. Also, we have a promo code. It's Football Scientific in all caps. Also, make sure you check out footballanalysis1.com and read my articles. Check out CFLnewshub.com and read my articles. Check out UFLnewshub.com and read my articles. Okay? And then also, make sure you like the video. Boop, share the video. Boop, subscribe. Boop, we got a new subscriber today. We're working our way up. We keep bumping up. Okay? That is Football Scientific for tonight. I'm closing the portal. Boop, boop, boop.